BJ Sunday mornings. Yeah, the drifting out here is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid.
Windy.
I'm ready for summer.
Very soon.
Yeah. Not soon enough. Well,
No.
I mean, I hate to wish time away. I'm not trying to do
No,
that.
no,
but
no.
man,
Yeah. I hear
I'm
you.
just not conducive to this climate. You know?
I know.
Yeah. Hey, so welcome back, by the way.
Thanks.
Thanks. Good to see you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Appreciate it.
BJ Sunday mornings.
Back again.
Yeah,
Getting it done.
back. Yep. We got on camera 2 is the B. Camera 3 is the J. Camera 2. There you go. Camera 3. Yeah. 2. 3. 2.
BJ Sunday morning. Here we go.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Love it. It's a great way to spend
day.
a Sunday morning.
It is. So let's pick up where we left off a little bit. The last Sunday when we were together.
So the Intrepid Adventurers.
We had nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
That would be a good name for the group, the Intrepid Adventurers. You know,
Yeah. Oliver and his band of idiots.
Oliver and his band of butts.
True. Intrepid Adventurers is probably a better way to go.
And his band of
Oliver
Butts.
Seymour Butts. Boots. I think it's Boots. But anyway.
I don't know, man. Looks like butts to me.
Feels like butts to me.
Yeah, I bet. You with your magic staff.
That's right. Wonder.
Magic staff of wonder.
Hadn't really thought that through, but
Yeah.
fair enough.
Way to go, by the way, in the last episode, showing restraint and not using that.
I wanted
setting
to.
the group back again.
Yeah, it could have gone the other way. I feel like I'm due.
Yeah.
You know, planted some grass, grown some hair, healed everybody else.
So, like the last time you used it, was everybody like, no, Boz, no,
Don't do it.
no, do
Pretty
not.
much.
Stop.
Yeah, and then they see me, run out in the middle of this room, and they're like, "He's gonna do it."
He's going to do it.
Like, don't do it. I'm like, no, he's gonna do it. And then
They're all yelling, stop.
yeah,
Falky,
somebody
the little
shoot him
otter.
with an arrow.
Tell him he doesn't have to use that thing.
That has been said.
Yeah.
Actually, those you don't have to do that. Like, no, I feel like I really do. It's gonna work this time.
It works almost every time,
I
except
feel
for
like
last
I'm
few
due.
times.
Like the craps table at the casino, right? You know what? Hey, it owes me. I'm due.
that. Right.
Doesn't necessarily owe you.
So the group, although with no thanks to the staff of Wonderment there, the group perseveres and they're able to capture or recover a handful of these flowers that Adelaide, the witch, in Thulist with the silent S, is she's seeking.
Yeah, she's the one who kind of contracted us or brought us together to go and maybe find this, right? And she had mentioned that the others had searched and seeked for these things, and to no avail. And I'm thinking now, in retrospect, wonder what happened to those guys, right? We may have been stepping over some of their bones on the way through this thing, if they even got this far. Who knows? Cannibals everywhere. There's all kinds of multidimensional beings that are attacking you. This is not a real friendly environment. I wouldn't recommend it for a vacation spot. If you do, grab the travel insurance because you may not be as happy as you think you could be. So yeah, we got all that done. We found, she was looking for one. We were looking for one flower. Turns out we got more. So we're like, this may work to our benefit as we
Maybe
move
some
back,
bargaining
right?
power.
Possibly, yeah. Right.
But you're not off the island
We're not.
of doom yet.
No, we're not off the island, and and really, so we got to leave here. But there's a great temptation on this island, right? Because let's be honest, we're adventuring types. We're trying to find our fortune and fame, and for Oliver, he wants to find more stuff, more gold, more gems, more jewels, more weapons, things like that are of value that he can take back to the city and sell. And as it turns out, there's another 4 or 5 of these sort of Mayan temple things in this area. But as we get out of here, we find our way back to the surface. We get out, and we realize that we really got a lot of stuff, and we really need to do something with it because it's just weighting us down, right? And we don't know how long these flowers will survive. That's what we were sent here for. So the decision as a group was made to go back to the city and resupply ourselves And because we don't know how long these things will survive, or
So
even
the
if they
fauna,
will,
are they living? Are they
they
living
are
in
living
soil?
Yeah, they're in a planter or just something. We've got them bagged up, and they're quite resilient and beautiful flowers. But we just don't know how long they're going to last, right?
Right.
There could be perishable, now that we're not, because we're not underground anymore. That's where we found them, right? Maybe they don't survive well. So fortunately, we have a druid who's able to kind of help keep them alive through her studies of nature and the
She's a
different things.
horticulturist.
Pretty much, yeah.
Nice.
She's in
Those
tune.
druids, man.
She's in tune with
Resourceful.
the earth, yeah. So we're kind of relying on her to keep these things alive. We're not going to give it to Twill. She just eat the shit.
She's just gonna eat it.
She'd be like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
because she's just looking for something to smash anyway, right?
And I mean,
She's pretty badass.
she's predictable that way.
So anyway,
She can't fight somebody. She's gonna eat the prize.
Absolutely. And who
Or the
could
person.
blame her? Well, it doesn't matter. You want to.
During the battles
Keep
with
her
the
away.
cannibals, was there any indication that Twill was interested in maybe joining them for dinner one night just to see what that was all about?
I don't know that she would have hesitated, but she's just like, well, there's other stuff to kill, so.
Because you got
but,
to
well,
think goblins.
I mean, there was a moment, right? And I'm like, don't do it.
Don't go.
But she was like, kind of had that look like, well, you gonna finish that?
It's a slow roaster.
You guys, are you gonna eat the fat?
Oh,
You know.
God.
And I was like, no, hey, 12, not that kind of party.
Yeah, slow down, baby. Slow
But she
down.
kind of had that look like.
Well, she got hungry, man, and look at her.
That's one of my favorite. We keep sneaking in these little quotes from Caddyshack, right? That's
Yeah.
Spalding is like, "You gonna eat your fat?"
Yeah, yeah.
So, but that's the kind of that's kind of the look, So I don't know that she would have, thought that would be the way to go right away, but she wasn't necessarily turned off by it. I could try it.
She wasn't saying no,
No,
right? If
hey,
somebody put a big
hey,
old
12,
slab-
don't, not that kind of party. But anyway,
Yeah.
so we work our way out, pretty uneventful. We can find a way, to the surface without, having to go through all kinds of BS to get there. We get out, work our way back to the coast, and search around a little bit, and we are able to find a boat. It's not the best boat, but it's a better boat than the one we had before we found this one. Makes
That's
sense,
right.
right?
Everything's an improvement at this point.
Exactly. Fortunately, we have some skilled navigators, on the boat. People who have some idea, of sailing and sailing ability, so that helps us kind of work our way back. And we're not tremendously far away. We know we just point the boat east and then just kind of keep going, and that will end up eventually back on land that we're looking to get to. So that's what we do. And we get back on land, back to the city of Thulist, and now we've got to decide, what are we going to do with this witch, right?
Mhm.
We've got these items. How are we going to work this, right? She's only looking for one. So we go in to meet her, and we decide that we're going to just present her with one, right? And see what she's offering.
Is there someone in the group that kind of takes the lead as far as the
Masad.
Masad's a talker?
Yeah, he's the most charismatic. He's got the most persuasion. He's kind of what we decided. You're the guy. Go make us a deal.
Gotcha.
Right. My character is. Then people tend to look at me sort of eyed a little bit, like, can I trust this dude? Because essentially he's a rogue type, right? He's gonna steal your shit if he gets a chance, right?
Well, and
So-
there's other things in question.
Sure. Yes. But the hair is flowing and amazing.
Did the hair go back or did it stay?
No,
long?
it stopped growing.
It stopped
yeah,
growing?
Yeah, after a little while. So.
I mean, but did it stay that length?
Oh
that it
yeah,
grew to?
yeah.
So
I
you
kept
still
it.
are flowing.
Oh,
these
absolutely. It was
luscious
a
locks.
new look. I just kept it. So anyway, Masad goes in and has this conversation, tries to determine, because we need some stuff, right? We need to get paid for this work. We have a bunch of items that we found along the way. So we kind of spread out through the city and, kind of go do our thing while he's trying to work out a deal. But we kind of decided, hey, go in there and offer just the one, see what you can get for it. And then if it's worth a lot, because we had no idea how much this thing's going to be worth.
Right.
Right.
Or what they even are.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
And then Mossad and I think Narwa go in and talk with the witch Adelaide, and she's like, hey, you know what? You guys are really I didn't think you were going to make it back, kind of thing. Like, she was already kind of prepping another group to try to follow us up, because it's been, a long time. It's been several weeks, since we
Right.
left, right? And
But she sent other groups, and they
probably,
didn't
yeah.
come
And
back.
they're like, all right, just, she's got a pipeline of, trickery here, just trying to get people to go and try and find this flower, which obviously has some major value to her. And she is a witch, so who knows what she's got going on, right? Don't care. So we were able to negotiate a pretty good deal. But we decided it wasn't enough. Like, hey, if this is so valuable to her, there may be other people who would be willing to pay more.
Oh, jeez, you guys are now. Who's instigating this in the group? Who's coming up with all these rogue ideas?
Kind of a combination, we're like, well, let's just sell them all. No. Oliver's like, no, I think we could probably get more. Mossad and Balki are like, yeah, we could definitely get more money for this, right? So we decided.
But this is dangerous territory.
Absolutely.
Because you're messing with a witch.
And we're messing with multi-dimensional flowers that we don't even know if we can keep the fuckers
You don't
alive.
even know
right?
what the hell it is.
No.
Yeah.
But these little petals are kind of, like really cool. They're like almost like a blue dragon scale kind of thing, right? So we decided to keep these things, and we know, and so we're asking questions like, well, what can we use these for? What, trying to trick the witch a little bit, right? And she's not really giving up much information. She's like, well, I've got some things that I really want to do with it, and, you guys can pick something from the store and, knock yourself out, right? But she's not giving up much information. Excuse me. So, of course, Mossad brings this information back to the group, and we're like, you know what? I think that bitch is trying to pull fast one on us, So we're definitely not going to give her the other flowers. So we figure there's got to be someplace else in this country that somebody might want to pay a little bit more for. So we give her those. We sell off some of the items that we found. We make a bunch of money, right? Actually really do a really good job, and then we're able to go and buy some new stuff. And as far as our repayment from the witch Adelaide, she does provide us with some potions and some different things from her store that allow us to resupply ourselves at a little higher level than what we did before. So it all worked out pretty well. So, it wasn't as nefarious as we thought, but she just wasn't going to give up any information specifically about these flowers.
But you only gave her the one flower.
But we only gave her the one because we're like, nope, she's not working with us enough. We contracted for one, essentially. There you go. Take it. We're out of here, right? So we kind of hang out in the city of Thulis for, a day or two, rest up, heal up, go to the different stores and shops and try to, get some better items.
Shopping local, of course.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hey, you know what? You're going to shop where you live, right?
That's right.
Let's just make this thing, all about that. There are local vendors who have, but there are some things we just can't get. And this comes back to the DM, to Bill, because we got a shitload of money here that we got on this adventure.
Don't be surprised if a Home Depot pops up.
Well, all I'm saying is the prices were really high for the things that were like, really?
Inflation.
Yeah, total inflation.
Yeah, it's the supply chain's all screwed up.
It
right
is.
now.
What? Last year I was able to get, 2 magic swords for 800 gold. Now you're telling me I can't get one for 1,700?
How many ruble does this take?
This is, so it's kind of how it was, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, really that makes sense because, if the prices were low, we could buy anything we want. Okay, what's the point of adventuring anymore? We're good. Time to retire, right? So we didn't need to do that. So we had a list of the items that we had found. Though we kept the ones that we thought would benefit us the most. We sold the rest, and again, got a pile of money we can't do anything with. So
Right.
so we're thinking about investing. We're gonna go. Now
See a broker.
the blockchain is very different in this world than it is in the world that we currently live in, but it's very similar, right?
Right.
Hey, I got this blockchain over here. You guys can go ahead and invest in crypto.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Sounds reasonable.
Total ripoff.
Is it?
We invested our money in the blockchain. Next thing you know, we go back. It's gone. The dude took his blockchain with him and whatever crypto. That's why they call it crypto because it's hidden. You don't know what it is. And
You're
we're like,
getting
okay.
people to exchange real money for imaginary money.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you think that D&D is a fantasy thing, is a weird thing, but yet people are investing lots of money in imaginary money right now.
Is it life following art or art following life? That is the question.
You got a good point there.
Yeah.
But either way, so we drank and made merry and hung out and had a lot of fun, and now it's
Okay.
time to go on.
This is a big question. As far as we know, out of the 5, Narawat, Masad, Twill, Oliver, and Belky, is everybody still a virgin?
As far as I know.
Okay, just
Yeah,
checking.
I don't know. I don't know. It's not
I
really a
just
question
thought
that you want to
maybe there was
ask.
a
It just
night
doesn't really
drinking,
come up. It's possible, I mean, there's a lot of nights that you don't remember, but you don't really ever forget, right? You've had those nights, right?
Yeah, I'm just
You know?
saying that. Is there any magic happening between, like, maybe let's, for an example, Twill? Yeah, she's tough, but I could see a guy like Belky loving a girl like that.
It's possible. Maybe throwing down a Mossad or something like that,
Yeah,
Narawat, she's an earthy type. You just don't know,
dude. But isn't she a druid?
She is.
Yeah.
She loves music festivals.
She's a real sucker for
She is.
music
Yeah,
festivals.
music festivals and patchouli oil. It's just,
She's a hippie.
yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
She's down with the earth, right? She's digging it, No one raves like her.
Right.
Yeah.
So some crazy shit could have happened. We don't know right now. I'm imagining that it did. I'm imagining that some weird shit went down.
It's possible, right?
Matter of fact, again, when we do talk to the game master, we're going to ask that question. Did some weird shit go down? Yeah.
We'll get a hookup with Bill, the game master, the
Yeah.
DM, the dungeon master, the man with the plan, the
Yeah.
guy who's getting it done.
The man with
And
the imagination.
He does have a great. He puts it together really well every week when we do this, or every other week.
Well, it's funny
It does a
because
great job.
this entire storyline in the events and the non-player characters, which Bill has to play all those characters.
Correct.
These are all of his imagination, and which is, it's saying something.
Yeah, it is. And so the way it kind of works, right, is there's sources, there's books that you can look through, right? There's the Monster Manual, and there's the Dungeon Master's Guide, and the Player's Handbook, and all these different things that people have imagined and created and thought up that you can utilize. So you don't have to create every stat and everything, but you can, right? And sometimes he does.
Right, but you still have to put them all together.
But yeah, so you
create a
choose
storyline.
all these, and you have to be familiar enough with these to then incorporate them into your program and
Right.
into your world and into your adventure. So yes,
And
there's
knowing the characters that
Absolutely.
are in your game, and knowing their strengths and weaknesses.
and also those
What
of the
might appeal
player
to them.
characters, right? So that you can work with them and not be overpowered one way or the other, right? Because in order to create a fun adventure and a campaign for everybody, you don't want to walk in and just boom, you guys are all dead. Hey,
Right.
you open the door, red dragon, fire,
Quick
done.
game.
All right, thanks for stopping by.
Same
Got some
time
pizza.
next week?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna kill you again next week. Don't worry about it. It'll be
Yeah,
fun
it'll
for
be
me.
fun.
It'll be fun for me. So yeah, there's a whole lot of that has to be balanced out. You have to understand the rules. You have to understand how it's played. And dungeon mastering a game is a challenging thing. And certainly Bill does a good job. And he's got a great imagination. He puts together these maps. And I wish we don't have that set up yet where we can show you some of these, but maybe we can get that done at a time in
Yeah.
the future where you can.
We're going to
bring that
spend
up.
some time this week doing some front loading into the machine.
Okay. Yeah.
So next Sunday when we get together,
Yeah.
we'll have some good graphics. And
Yeah. I think that would be really
although
cool.
we realize most people are listening and not watching.
Right, but it would be nice if they wanted to take a peek and be like, okay,
Right.
I see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get it. You know.
Like that flower. I'm going to bring that back up, by the way.
That's
that
really
flower,
cool.
Actually, it's a really cool picture.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even it's not a photograph. It's some
It's
graphic.
just a digital image of
Digital
some sort.
image.
Yeah.
And they do a really good job of making this thing look appealing.
Well,
It looks mystical and magical.
I love the image of the Dragonborn, right, that you have on there, right?
Yeah,
That's
now that's a
pretty
little
sweet.
scary.
It is, but it's a
yeah.
pretty cool representation of somebody's imagination of what these creatures or this race looks like, right?
Well, we know that the Dragonborn is a combination of the human
Humanoid,
and a dragon. It's got both, so it's got to have both attributes, right? So
Absolutely.
it is an upright.
Yeah, it's
Creature.
bipedal. Yep. That means it-
Bipedal. It's got two penises.
No, that's a different thing. I think that's I don't even know what that is. That's like a shark. Sharks are double donged. Oh, didn't know that, but it's true.
Dude, I did not know that. But do you know what the name of the band that I have is when I'm in a band?
No, I don't. Enlighten me, please, because I was going to say double dongs.
Dragon Shark.
There you go.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Dragon shark was invented last summer.
So you say it's your birthday.
I'm just saying that
It's my
I was
birthday
with
too.
Seth Ponderoga Blumberg,
Mm-hmm.
and
Man, myth, legend.
he is.
Love that
I
guy.
do too. And we came up with the
Superstar.
band Dragon Shark.
That's really cool, and I could see that coming from Seth. He's another guy who's got a great imagination.
Totally loves D&D
Yeah.
and games like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Right up his
he would.
alley.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got a great
And he's
imagination.
funky.
So that
He can play the guitar and he's funky.
I've heard he's got some ability guitar wise.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it firsthand.
Hmm.
Quite beautiful.
You and some of your ilk are very talented. I just want to throw that out there. I was able to watch you guys this past summer, jam a little bit over here at the
That's right.
the tent over here in Gaylord
Buck,
with the Big Buck. Yes, yeah, it was quite a festival and it was fun.
It was fun.
Because it's not like you guys get together every week and play, right? It's just
Yeah.
kind of a throw it together. Because there's yourself and homie David Holmes, and then
Yeah.
of course
Smoker,
the Schmoke,
Melissa.
Chris Schmoke from way out west,
And Walker couldn't be there that time.
Yeah,
But it
yeah.
was nice to have Seth. And
Yeah.
that's the first time Seth's been home in 15 years.
I
so
know,
it
I
was a
know.
nice homecoming.
Yeah, and he's like, it's the same. I'm good for 15.
Yeah.
You know?
And now he's back in Bangladesh. And
Yep.
who knows when we'll see him again.
Yep, but that's all
hopefully
good
it's not
though.
too
But
long.
the world traveler, not too much different real life wise for him
No.
than the adventuring that we're doing here
No,
in
he's all over
Imagine.
the place. He's probably in a dungeon someplace right
Possible,
now. Fighting
possible.
off some sort of druid.
Yeah, and jamming away on the old guitar. So,
Yeah, right.
but yeah, so that's kind of where we're at, right? So we get through this, we negotiate with the witch Adelaide, and now we're like, okay, what's next? Well, you know what? We've got these other flowers. Let's go see if we can't pawn these off. We know that to the east there's these other lands to the east, and there's other adventures to be had, and there's other places that might have a different market for some of these pretty cool things.
Have you
right?
been fishing around and seeing if anybody knows what the hell they are? Or?
No, because we're a little nervous about kind of
Agreed.
yeah. We're like, okay, Adelaide's got one, she's going to do whatever she does, but I mean certainly people are aware of these, right? Because she was, right?
Right.
It's not the internet, but I mean whatever she's into, there are other people who are searching for these things. There's no way that this is just a random act, right?
Right.
She's like, hey, I need you guys to go get this, and however many other groups she's sent to their demise chasing this flower, so she's kind of. She knows there's a good chance you're not coming back, so she doesn't really give much of a shit about people's, life or longevity, right? So there's a little evil, tick on that one, right?
Right.
So we're thinking that there's got to be other people who would pay as much or more, and maybe able to provide us with more of what we're looking for, which is more money, more power, more powerful weapons, more fortune and fame. So we're going to seek that to the east, and that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to travel east, right?
So you traveled west first, right?
Correct.
And now you're going back across the island or continent of Pasthulis
Yes. Yep.
with the silent S.
Yeah, I got to get the map here. So.
Then you're going to travel back across. Actually, I have a map right here.
Yep.
You're going to go back across to the east.
Mm-hmm. To the Kowloon province, right? So it kind of takes on a bit of a, so we were kind of Mayan civilization kind of thing before, but now we're going to be heading back to the eastern provinces, and we're going to have here like different, words like Kowloon and these different sort of Asian influenced places along
So
the way.
it truly is like the east.
Yeah, to some degree, right? Although sprinkled in there is a place called Yorktown. So I don't know. It's just kind of a mess, but that's kind of where we're headed, right?
Yeah,
So
isn't that the way life goes?
yeah, so we're going to travel along this sort of road. If you're looking at the map, it kind of goes out of Thulis to the northeast and work our way towards the Kowloon provinces and the eastern provinces, and
See if you can peddle some of these goods.
peddle some of these goods and
These
see what else.
flowers.
But so before we go, we get some of this information that we had found these letters and some different things while we're in this other place, and it talks to these different beings and creatures, and some of those were in this sort of eastern provinces. And I'm going to look one up here real quick so I can kind of give you a sense of what we have going on here. Let me find it here real quick. So one of the things that we had heard about is this area to the east where things had been kind of devastated. If it's okay, Jeff, I'm just going to read through a couple
Yeah,
paragraphs
go
of this
ahead.
right
Yeah,
here. So,
yeah.
so this is again from the amazing imagination of our game master or dungeon master Bill. All right, so this is the histories according to Hergor, the Eastern Realms. Right, within 2 generations after the falling, some of the newcomers held different views of how to settle the new world. Groups from each of the arcs that survived the falling split off as a form from the consortium to find lands of their own. They took their culture and moved east, leaving much of the Ark's technology behind, so they could begin anew their practice of the old ways. The New World was a harsh one to those not practiced in the ways, and many fell on the journey east. Eventually, the new colony arrived to the shore of the vast ocean and began rebuilding their culture. They brought their gods and customs from the far away and formed the first of the eastern provinces. Right, so that's just the first 2 paragraphs of this whole history that goes along here. And so as we read through this, we come across some interesting things, and we had heard some of the heard about some of these different creatures, right? Crystal spiders, right? Like these new creatures that have been created, or things that we haven't seen before, and it's sort of kind of thinking like maybe a culture that could create, or that is dealing with these crystal spiders, right? Or glass spiders or whatever they happen to be. We're like, what the
Because
hell?
real spiders aren't creepy ass enough.
Yeah, so we got to make them exactly. Which, just another quick aside, our game master hates spiders, but he's created a whole adventure about spiders. So I don't know if this
Go
is,
figure.
if he's trying to kind of work through his fear there, a little bit. He's like, I'm going to
Right.
torture everybody else with the fear that I have.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so we hear about these sort of glass spiders or this crystal spider things, and we're like, okay, maybe these people, who are creating this this environment where these things are a thing, or these mechanical beasts, or these other creatures, these guys have some technology that maybe we're not dealing with over here in good old Thulist.
Right.
So they might have a use for these flowers, a place where we can, make a little bit more money. And, well, who doesn't want to see a crystal fucking spider?
I don't.
Well, me either, but that's what
Yeah,
we're going to
it's-
do. But, you're with a group. We're going, right? So that's the plan. So we're going to head east.
We're heading east. We're gonna in the next episode, we're gonna head east. Now, are we on an island, or do we have to travel by water
No,
again? or
we're
this is
right
all
now
by
we're
land?
back on the continent, right?
Okay.
We're off the water. We're back in Thulist. We're back in the main body of land of this continent, and we're gonna get out of this town, leave the dust behind, and we're gonna move east and see what we can find in the eastern provinces, and see if we can find something really cool along the way, and a place to peddle off some of these other flowers.
And in the meantime, you have is it Nairot that's taking care of the flowers?
Yes,
and making sure
Nairot,
They stay
Nairot.
staying alive.
Yep, Narrowrot. I can never say.
It's a hard name to say.
It is Narrowrot. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Nairot.
she's the druid, right? So she's down with the earth and taking care of things, and Oliver's more concerned about stealing shit and making his way. Of course, he was a former member of the city guard, and things just didn't work out real well for him with the city guard, so he's kind of went on his own, right?
Right. 'Cause
Mercenary
didn't he
type.
get caught pooping in the village well or something like that?
I don't know. Everybody does that. That wasn't a
Yeah,
big
that
deal.
was not
That's
a
just
huge
that's
deal.
the indoor plumbing. I don't believe is a thing yet.
Okay.
But yeah, certainly. He was night putting with
It's
the dean's daughter. Yeah. And Mitch Cumstein
Mitch,
was his
yeah.
name. Yeah,
Oh,
Mitch.
sure.
Yep.
Good guy.
Good guy.
So
anyway,
we're venturing east.
yeah, we are venturing east. So
Are we venturing afoot?
well, we are. Yeah.
Okay.
So we don't have horses or wagons or that kind of stuff.
But we have some extra money if we wanted to buy one of
We
those.
do, but we haven't found anybody who wants to just give that up yet. So, but that's okay. We don't mind. We don't mind a hike. So we're heading east and northeast, really, along this trail from the city of Thulist, and along the way, we need a rest, right? So we decide we come across this sort of village, just kind of hanging out, and we're like, okay, well maybe we can hook up a place here, and we go into this town and this little village, and it's primitive, right? Just some folks. We're getting quite a ways away from the influences of the city of Thulist, and we're working our way towards these eastern provinces. And it's still a trade route. There's people. So it's not like we haven't been seen, but we're still kind of viewed with a little bit of, apprehension. Like, okay, well, we don't know these people; they're strangers, but they kind of welcome us in, and while we're there, they're kind of talking about these creatures that keep coming in to their village and stealing women and children. These sort of like
What's that called? The chupacabra?
kind of, but it's more but the creatures are more, they come from the river, they kind of come out at night, they kind of take things, and it's very similar to the goat sucker, which is the chupacabra, right?
Yeah.
But these are more like
carp.
gators, more like alligators, or
Okay.
more like lizard type people, lizard folk, right?
Oh, God.
And so we kind of got ourselves roped into this, and Oliver's like, hey, we are going east. We don't need to engage in this, and Narwhal, she's like, these people need our help.
Oh, boy.
We need to help these
She
people.
is a hippie. She's a bleeding heart.
She is. She's like,
Yeah.
but these are good people. We can take some time to help out. Twill's like, you gonna eat that fat? She's like, whatever, I'm in for anything.
She's going to eat one of those lizards.
Probably. She's like,
Alligator folk.
alligator. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to eat this lizard folk, right? And of course, Masad is like, I'm good either way. Let's just get this done. If we're going to do this, let's do this. I haven't blown shit up in like a day and a half, maybe 2 days, right?
Dude, you're dying to get that damn staff out.
Exactly, and you know what? I haven't scratched a monkey with a jubba in weeks.
That's right.
My hair, so, and of course, Balky at this time is kind of off on his own. We don't know where Balky's at. He's kind of
Balky
disappeared.
took off?
Balky's gone.
Really?
Yeah, no Balkster.
So we're down to 4.
We're down to 4 right now.
Did
He
Balky
stayed in
leave Thulist
Thulist.
with you guys?
Yeah, he was in
So he
Thulist.
left Thulist with you, but...
Yep. No, he stayed in Thulist. Right?
Oh, he did?
Yeah. We got back, talked to the
That's
witch.
an important detail that we
Yeah,
kind
sorry.
of
Yeah, my bad.
over that.
My bad. But yeah, he stayed around Thulist, right? So we're down to 4 right now. He has said that I'll catch up with you someday, but for right now, here I stay. Somewhat cryptic, but anyway, that's where we're at. So we're in this little rustic village, people living by the river, kids getting swiped. I'm like, let's get east. Let's go find this crystal spider thing, whatever. But I think we're getting roped. We're going to stay right here.
You're going to stay right here with
Yep.
these and have to figure out these lizard people.
Yeah, this
Lizard alligator.
It doesn't
people.
seem like, it doesn't portend well for anybody, right? Especially the people of this village. I'm like, have you seen what we do to places when we go for a visit? It doesn't work out well. Nobody is better on the other side of it. But hey, if
And
you
then
want to stick around,
It
no
would
problem.
seem like the one guy that could talk to aquatic folk would be the otter folk.
You would
right?
think that yeah.
Because he
Balky.
could speak their underwater language. But we are without Balky.
We are. But here's an interesting thing I was able to pick up while we're back in the city of Thulist with our money. I now have a cloak of the manta ray.
Really?
I do.
I didn't even know they made those anymore.
They don't. This is why it was so damn expensive. You talk about inflation. It was a second-hander, but you know what? It still seems to work all right. But it does grant me the ability to breathe underwater. I can swim, and I can swim like a manta ray. So actually, it turns out it might work out well. If we're chasing lizard people, we might as well have a cloak of the manta ray.
I think it's great. I just I can't help but think that somehow you became like an early period Aquaman.
Kind of feels that way.
The least of all impressive superhero.
I know. I don't have a trident, but I do have a wand of wonder.
I don't think the original Aquaman had a trident either.
I don't think he did. We'll have to
think
look
that
that
was
one
just
up.
like
I think we talked about that, but we'll have to look
Yeah,
it up. He had
we
the
have to
he had
research
the orange shirt and the green pants.
We're gonna have to.
So
what do they
that
call
was
that? They call that
research.
Yeah, it's called research, but they also call it vet. We got to vet that.
We got to vet that
Yeah,
information.
vet that
Yes, absolutely.
information.
We we'll find out here. So,
yeah.
but anyway, that's where we're at. We're at the village, man.
All right, man. That
We'll
sounds
see what
good.
happens.
We'll pick her up next week.
All right. Thanks, Greifer.
Thanks, Bowser.
Love it.
DJ Sunday mornings.